Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I'm Davina, and today I'd like to share with you 10 steps to recovering from narcissistic abuse and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. So, the first step is getting safe and stabilizing your life. And that generally means, of course, leaving the narcissistic and toxic relationships in your life. And this, of course, doesn't happen all overnight. And it can happen in stages. For me, it happened sort of in stages of leaving those things behind. So, and yeah, you don't have, again, I always say go gently. You don't have to force yourself to leave before you're ready to leave, but set that intention to get out of those relationships that are not serving you anymore. And stabilizing your life can mean just getting stable work if you don't have it, or creating some routines in your life so that you can have that sense of more groundedness and just stability to hold you as you go through the healing. Step number 2 is to find support, to find safe support for yourself. And this might mean a coach, a therapist. It might mean joining ACA, maybe a online support group for other people who have gone through the same thing. So to sort of build some community, or at least one person that you can talk to. I call the distress line these days. That works for me. So whatever, works for you at the time. And this will also change and evolve, depending on your needs at the time. So just follow your intuition on that. Number 3 is to educate yourself. And if you're here, then that's what you're doing, is you're learning and figuring out what's what. I spent probably, the first year or so, just like I was always like looking up things on narcissism, and is this really, because it takes a while for the mind to understand and to comprehend what has happened. And so yeah, it can take, going over videos and reading articles and listening to what other people say, and just learning about all these things that we didn't learn about too as children. What is a healthy relationship? What does that look like? What is a boundary, and how do I set boundaries, and all that stuff? And what is C-PTSD, and what is that? What are all the effects of that? And so, yeah, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to educate ourselves on. Number 4 is to set and hold boundaries. This is, of course, is essential because we have grown up not really having any boundaries because our families were so enmeshed. And so, you come out of that, and you may not even know, like, really, truly what your values are. And because that's where your boundaries are based in, is based in your values. And I often find that knowing your triggers, if you know what your trigger is, then just, your value is the opposite of that, right? If someone's speaking to you harshly and you don't like that, and that's triggering, then you know that what you like is gentleness and in your interactions. So it's like, yeah, it's a learning process of what you value, and also what you need in order to flourish. And these are what boundaries are all about. And once you set those boundaries, is to also hold them. And that's a practice. That's, an ever growing thing that we will evolve as you do. Number 5 is creating spaciousness in your life. This has been really important for me, and I believe it's really key to create not only physical, like, spaciousness, but also just like in a sense of like time. You want to have time in your day where you're not doing anything. If we have a lot of distractions, then the feelings won't be able to come up as easily, I believe. When I created, the more and more the more and more spaciousness I had, and the more safe I got, the more the feelings and the flashbacks started to arise. So I think for me anyway, feelings come up in that safety and in that spaciousness as well. So it takes, that time to, just sometimes just sitting and just seeing what's arising. And yeah, so that means decreasing any kind of like addictive, maybe you still have some addictive kind of behaviors, and try to reduce those, try to reduce distractions, any kind of thing that's distracting you from your feelings. Number 6 is expressing rage and grief. And this will just naturally start to come up as you get yourself to a safe place. And yeah, there are many ways to express your anger, to express your rage, and to really allow it, and to let it out. And when you're triggered and you get angry, just to to really let it let it fly, kind of thing. And the grief, I find, usually comes after the rage. So once you express that rage at how unfair and how unfair things were, the grief will also come. And the grief is like the space between how it actually is and how you think it should be or should have been. So you can also, you can write down shoulds, and that sometimes can start, moving that grief up again too. Like, my husband shouldn't be insulting me, but my husband is insulting me, so that can start to move those feelings as well. Number 7 is to get into the body. And this is so incredibly important, because this is where all of our feelings are. And we have likely, well, at least I know I did, lived basically from, the neck up most of my life, not connected with what's going on, what sensations are happening. Yeah, like it's so important to be able to feel in your body and start noticing what sensations are happening, where your feelings are located, where is my fear, where is the grief, where is the shame or the guilt, and start noticing. And you'll start to get more and more capable of distinguishing and identifying your emotions doing that. And my favorite way is yoga nidra, which is a body scan. You can do any kind of body scan, will help you get in touch with your body. I think any kind of yoga is also great. I mean, you can find many ways, going for massage, even things like that, can start helping you to start feeling your body. Number 8 is to connect with your inner child and start to feel the feelings of the flashbacks, which is extremely difficult. This is the really hard stuff, to feel what you were feeling as a child. And all of that has been repressed. It's been in a subconscious part of yourself, and that's now going to come to the surface. And those flashbacks, for me, it's like daily, it's just like one after another, and I do get breaks, but it's getting in touch with that inner child and how is she feeling, and working your way through those flashbacks, giving yourself that validation, that compassion. And no matter what you're feeling, if you're feeling ashamed, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling hopeless, and this is, really, really difficult stuff, because, we can be very reactive to our emotions as well. And so this just takes practice over and over again of getting in touch with that inner child and what's going on for her or him. And The last one, did I say 10? I think I have 9 anyway. To spend time in solitude. And I guess this could be split up. Spending time in solitude, connecting with your true self and with God. And I think true self and God are very interrelated. True self is for me like my essence or my soul, and God's spirit is somehow, I don't know how to explain, but intertwined with that. And it's kind of paradoxical in that, like, the more I got into my body, the more I sensed my real self as a spiritual, energetic being. And that this world is not really as it seems at all, but this is really a place of just um learning and evolving and learning to love. And I don't really know, actually. It's a mystery, but I know, like, it starts to seem like, I feel like everything is just like a waking kind of dream sometimes. The symbols of life. And so yeah, getting in touch with God, and like, can be the simplest of things. I was just out for a walk today, and God is like sort of guiding me. It just happens naturally when you start to really connect with yourself at a deep, deep level. And of course, all of this takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of perseverance, a lot of courage, and incredible strength. And so yeah, it's a journey, and I believe, I don't know if it's endless, but it seems endless sometimes. But it does slowly, very slowly and gradually get better. So it's really just like smidge by smidge by smidge. And in the beginning, you may not even really notice some of the changes, because they might be, and a lot of the changes are just so subtle. So look back where was I 6 months ago? Where was I 2 years ago? And notice the changes, as you are making progress. And yeah, I hope this was somehow helpful for you today. And I'm wishing you many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I am Davina at Boldness Blooming. Thank you for watching.